What's going on, guys? We're back with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about the Elias Pettersson revenge tour. We're going to talk briefly about last season, what went wrong, the JT Miller drama, and we'll also talk about former head coach Rick Tocchet. Before we get into it, if you aren't following me on Instagram and TikTok, I post daily on those platforms, and especially with the NHL season coming up, I'm going to be posting a lot more. Okay, so back in the 2023-24 NHL season, it was the Vancouver Canucks' first playoff berth in a few seasons. The Canucks defeated the Nashville Predators in round 1, and they took the Edmonton Oilers to a game 7 in round 2. Thatcher Demko went down after the first game of the first round, and the Canucks still managed to get within 1 game of round 3. Now, because of this, they had a bit of a shorter off season, obviously playing more games than usual, more than likely dealing with injuries as well as potentially playing through injuries. It definitely left a few of our players banged up before the start of the next season. Obviously, Demko didn't start the year. Quinn Hughes was dealing with injuries off and on, Brock Besser, the list goes on. It just shows you that everything can go right one season and be the complete opposite the next. The reason I say this is because since he was drafted, Elias Pettersson has been labeled as the Canucks' future. He's their franchise center, their star player. It's still crazy to me that how many people have switched up on him after one season that wasn't great statistically. 45 points in 64 games for your franchise center that you just paid a long-term contract to obviously isn't great, but everything went wrong this past season. The one thing I've thought about a lot lately is Rick Tocchet's coaching system. I honestly liked Rick Tocchet as the coach of the Vancouver Canucks, but him leaving, it is what it is. I think when you look at what has got Petey to where he is today, what's made him a star in this league, it's not because he's been playing a dump and chase system. From what I can tell, Rick Tocchet was never a fan of north-south hockey or carrying the puck into the zone. And when you tell a player like Elias Pettersson to dump, chase, retrieve the puck, and then try and score, it's kind of like, why? Regardless, of course, you're going to see a decrease in offensive production because you're not playing to the player's strengths. It's just not his play style. Again, nothing against Rick Tocchet. This is just an observation on my part. I just hope Elias Pettersson can prove people wrong and get back to the way he was playing before. Now, Elias Pettersson mentioned in an interview a few days ago that he knows what he's capable of, saying, "For myself, it's revenge. I'm not happy with last season." For Petey to have this mindset going into next season, that's massive. The Canucks have a lot to prove this year. This team is being slept on by a lot of people. Pettersson also mentioned that he's fully healthy this offseason, as last season after that playoff push, he was dealing with a lingering knee injury. Now listen, one season doesn't define a player. Out of the last 4 seasons Pettersson's played, he scored over 30 goals 3 times. Last season was disappointing, but there's so many more moving parts to it than just Petey having a bad year statistically. Obviously, everything that happened between Pettersson and JT Miller was a distraction to them, but also the team. Whether or not it was as bad in the locker room as it was that the media made it, who knows? You know, obviously losing a player like Miller, you're automatically losing 80 to 90 points out of your lineup production wise, but also a leader. The most important thing is that Pettersson has a clear mindset going into this next season. No locker room drama, no contract talk. He can just go back to the way he's been playing all of these years. And Elias Pettersson is entering his 8th season as a Vancouver Canuck, and if the Canucks want to get back to the playoffs, at the bare minimum, Elias Pettersson has to score at least 30 goals. He's more than capable of 40. He almost hit that a few seasons ago. 30 is the minimum for your franchise center. Has to be for this team. On top of that, I'd put him as a safe bet to honestly score 90 plus points this year. I think at the minimum, again, 30 goals, point per game player, 90 would be great. He also needs to be more productive on the power play this year. The Canucks power play last season ranks around 15th out of the league, middle of the pack. With a new offensive coach and power play coach, there's no reason they can't improve on that, and Pettersson needs to be a huge part of it. Something to also think about is the Canucks lost 14 games in overtime last year. That's 14 points they left on the table. Obviously, they're not going to win all of those games. A few more goals or clutch moments from Petey could have been the difference maker. I believe this season is huge for the Vancouver Canucks. It kind of feels like they're entering their cup window. They've extended a few of their guys. They're locking up their core pieces. It also could be a huge stepping stone working towards a contract extension with Quinn Hughes. Management is committed long-term to Elias Pettersson. He's their guy, their franchise piece. Pressure's there, and in a market like Vancouver, the media is always going to try to twist narratives, stir the pot just to get a negative reaction. But a healthy and confident Elias Pettersson is exactly what the Vancouver Canucks need. Anyways, guys, if you've made it to this point of the video, I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments how you think Elias Pettersson will perform this season. Make sure to follow me on all my socials if you aren't already, and until next time, peace.